Hello. It is I, once again, the Bruce Wayne of Azure Lane. Back at it again with another Azure Lane video and back in my comfortable Batman bathrobe. And I have done a gear tier list for destroyers and light cruisers, and now it is time for heavy cruisers. Now, here's the thing about heavy cruisers, and it's very important to remember this. Heavy cruisers' guns have the narrowest firing arc forward out of all the Vanguard ships, which, except for maybe large cruisers. But I mean, that just makes them kind of very limited to use. Like, it's harder to use heavy cruisers, I think, than any of the other Vanguard ships. So, you have to look at, except for, they all have like, oh wait, except for one gun that has a wider firing arc, and that is the German 203 millimeter SKC improved, the yellow German gun. That has a 45-degree forward firing angle, which is the widest so far in the game. And this is also a very balanced gun. So I would say, yeah, most of these guns, though, they have these narrow firing arcs. Like even the Rainbow gun, only 38 degrees forward. So your heavy cruiser will need to get those shots in in order to be effective. So I'll just start off with what is the best gun so far. By far, in most cases, the vast majority of cases in the game, the Rainbow gun is the best. And then this gun right here is quite considerably good. It's like a weaker version of the Rainbow gun. So you go over here, and then I have it set to heavy armor. So the Rainbow gun is the uncontested champion of heavy armor. Like none of the guns on anywhere on this list are even close. So for heavy armor specifically, the Rainbow gun is the best, but it's also very decent on medium armor and light armor. It does the most damage on paper, but it actually does do real good damage when you use it in the game. It's just that, and so does the other normal firing gun, the twin 234 millimeter. This gun does considerably good damage against light armor. It's sort of slacks off at medium, and it's pretty good at heavy though. So both of these guns are overall good choices. However, if you are specifically fighting a medium armor boss, the Italian gun is the best by far. So you go right here. I set this thing to medium armor. Now, it says here that the Rainbow gun does more damage and the Italian gun does slightly less damage. And then, but the trick is the spread on the Italian gun is very narrow. So it is much more likely to accurately get all the rounds on the target when you're using this gun in practice. And that will do more damage. So the Italian gun outperforms the Rainbow gun at medium armor. Now, all the other guns here on the list, whoopsie daisy. All the other guns here on the list are good at medium armor, but they're more balanced towards the other armor types. So, for instance, the twin 203 millimeter SKC improved is almost just as good at medium armor, but it does a lot more damage to light armor and a little more damage to heavy armor. So it's more balanced. So I would say if you want a gun that you can use focused on medium armor, but you want to hit the other armor types too, this is a good gun right here. Also, the triple 203 millimeter prototype gun is quite an excellent choice. It falls a bit behind this gun, and it has a regular, firing angle forward. So this German gun kind of wins on that firing angle, but it's not by much. And then the American gun here is good at medium armor, but it's a little skewed towards heavy armor. So it does a little more damage to heavy armor and a little less damage to light armor. So these are all good guns, and they all have their situational uses. But for light armor, the best gun by far is the French gun. Yeah, the French be cooking light armor. So you get over here to the French gun, and now it has all these other guns here above it. But the thing is, the firing angle of the French gun is so narrow that you would be more likely to get all the rounds on target. And then on top of that, it does like you know, pretty impressive damage on light armor. So I highly recommend using the twin 203. I don't know how to pronounce this. MLE 1931 gun. Good gun on light armor. Now you scroll down here to auxiliary gun and auxiliary torpedo. And I would say for the most part, you can treat the auxiliary slot on heavy cruisers just about the same way you treat the auxiliary slot on light cruisers. So the Chinese gun provides the best stat and can actually do considerable damage even in the auxiliary slot, which is good. The German gun is prioritized for medium armor, but it also provides, considerably good firepower boost and a good anti-air boost. The French gun is exclusively a firepower focused gun. So if you go over here to the French gun, this will actually give you the highest firepower stat you could put in your auxiliary. But it's important to note one thing. Most heavy cruisers don't have very good AA really. So sort of like you would want, if you want a heavy cruiser to perform well, almost all the American ones and some of the British ones have very good anti-air, but most of them don't. And even the American ones, the anti-air they have is slacking behind light cruisers. And I would say it is possible you may need a slight anti-air boost for your heavy cruisers. So this gun right here is probably one of the best guns to put on heavy cruisers because it does give you that anti-air boost. But the Chinese gun, to me, is, in most cases, probably the best balanced option. And then you go to auxiliary torpedoes. And as I have said before, I have tested both of these. And I have gotten better performance out of the gold quad because you're more likely to get all the torpedoes to hit. And it fires faster. So for auto, I would recommend the gold quad, but the rainbow quintuple is still a good choice and probably better for PvP. Now, if you're fighting on manual, these torpedoes right here are easily the best choice, and that's because they fire straight forward in a line. So yeah, that's good. That's very good. So you go down here and you'll see that the American torpedoes, they fire faster, but they do less damage. And then the quintuple, or the 610 quadruple ones, they are basically a weaker version of the Shimakaze torpedo. So this is a solid torpedo. It does good torp stat. You're just unlikely to get all the torpedoes to hit. Same with all three of these right here. You're unlikely to get all the torpedoes to hit. But they are still good choices for manual. Now, best anti-air gun is easily the rainbow gun. So like I said, heavy cruisers a lot of times don't necessarily have the best anti-air. So if your anti-air is low, you would want the rainbow gun easily because this will boost your anti-air really well, and it does very good damage on all types of aircraft. It does the highest damage, really. And then the sextuple 40mm Bofors is also a good choice for anti-air. However, if you want to maximize your range, use the twin 100 and is it 114 or 113? 113 millimeter AA. This one has the best range. Now, if you go down here, whoopsie daisy, I didn't mean to click that. If you go down here, this is where it differs between light cruisers and heavy cruisers. So heavy cruisers have poor accuracy. Their accuracy is actually generally bad. So you would want to increase their accuracy by using the 40mm Stag. But you could increase their firepower as well because this gives a firepower boost. Like I said, the 40mm Stag gives a 10%, or not 10%, 10-point increase in accuracy. But if you want to use this gun right here, you could increase your firepower. However, you will have less anti-air And like I said, heavy cruisers generally have poor anti-air. So I would not recommend this if anti-air is a problem. So like I said, 40 millimeter stag in, I would say almost all the cases, really. I would say all the cases, really, actually. Now you go down here to auxiliary gear. Now the number one thing heavy cruisers need is evasion and more evasion. So the hydraulic steering rudder is the top-notch choice for evasion. But if you wanted to add double evasion, you could use the beaver tag. And these two gears together are probably the best thing you could put on a single heavy cruiser. This will boost their survivability so much, it'll be ridiculous. Also, the beaver tag has the added benefit of providing a speed boost, which, since heavy cruisers are slow, this speed boost will be put to good use on a heavy cruiser. Now, if you do not have the beaver tag, but you still want survivability, or you don't, be using the beaver tag on another ship, repair toolkit is the best for survivability. And then another good option is the SG radar. And the reason for that is because, like I said before, heavy cruisers have very poor accuracy. So the SG radar will give a nice accuracy boost while also giving an EVA boost. So SG radar, highly recommended. And now you also get to, these gears right here, I would say if you have a mission specific focus, these gears right here are excellent to use for a mission specific type of deal. So if you're doing the main campaign, obviously this is the best because it increases your damage on Sakura Empire ships by 6%, which is very nice. Both of these are great for Operation Siren. And the thing about heavy cruisers is that if you really want to raise their damage, see this German radar, it's called the Funk Mess, which I kind of like that. That's funny to me. The Funk Mess or Tongue 25 radar. This is probably one of the best things you can put on a heavy cruiser for boosting damage because it gives this, massive boost in firepower and massive boost in accuracy. It's just it doesn't help your survivability whatsoever. But if you're looking solely for damage, this is great on a heavy cruiser. This is excellent. So yeah, that is the auxiliary gear. And one more thing to cover is augment gear. So there's two for heavy cruisers. There is the greatsword and then there is the lance. So the lance has an accuracy boost and an anti-air boost, which is excellent. The greatsword has a torpedo boost and a firepower boost. So this is clearly geared towards a torpedo-focused heavy cruiser. However, you could actually use this on a torpedo-focused heavy cruiser if anti-air was a problem. But this is definitely the best option for gun-focused heavy cruisers. So use the lance for gun-focused heavy cruisers or if anti-air is an issue. And then for torpedo-focused cruisers, use this. Excellent, excellent. Anyway, that about covers it. So this is my gear tier list for heavy cruisers, and I'll be sharing this in my community tab in due time. So if you want this, I will put it up for your free use and access. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. If you like my content, please like and subscribe. Farewell and following seas, my fellow Shikikans, and have a good weekend.